Awesome. Okay. And what are the, I guess, most popular sports that you run, and what are the key locations in Australia that you guys operate in?
Yeah, we've got the generic sports that people grow up with, like soccer, cricket, touch footy, netball, things that usually happen in Australia. But I think that makes us different compared to everyone else is all those niche sports that we look into. We've got flag gridiron, so NFL. We've got dodgeball. We've got softball. We've just started doing European handball, ultimate frisbee. So it's all these different sports that we get a lot of people that aren't really Australian. So, they're coming from all across the world and they just love to get involved in sports that they always grew up, like, for example, another one like hockey and things like that. So in terms of where we are, we're pretty much now all over Sydney. Inner West is our biggest. We're up at North Sydney. We're up at East Sydney, and we've just recently gone west. So we've gone Homebush in the hills. We've got some volleyball happening up there.
Cool. And I think from memory, you've also got places outside of Sydney as well, right? For Urban Rec?
Yeah, that's right. So we're in Newcastle and Canberra. So Canberra was about 4 or 5 years ago. Newcastle about a year or two ago. So we're slowly expanding.
Awesome. Okay. And look, obviously with everything that's been going on, you've had to transition outside of just traditional sport. And I know that because I'm part of, I think, 2 of your eSports competitions at the moment. Tell us about, I guess, how you thought up of that and what you had to do to prepare to transition into eSport.
Yeah, exactly. So literally the COVID stuff happened. We stopped our leagues. We all came together and was like, what do we need to do? This came over about a week's process. And the manager at Newcastle, Alyssa, she just mentioned eSports and gaming. And to be honest, at the time, no one took it seriously. And then a couple of days later, I kind of just realized, I'm like, you know what? I can use this as a way to play games at work, right? Yeah. I play a lot of FIFA. I play a lot of games as well on PlayStation 4 and Xbox. So I thought I could give it a go. And I literally that night I went online, thought of a way to play with my mates. Couldn't find a platform to do it, as in, like, we've got FIFA and we've got PS4, but there's no league system. There's no standing system. There's no scheduling system. There's no social aspect of it. There's no, when you verse someone online, you verse someone, but there's no interaction besides if someone gets a headset on, and that's for like a short amount of period. And there's a high chance the best you'll get out of it is you add them on PlayStation 4. So there's no bonding of things like that, but we can do that. Everyone here, everyone at Urban Rec know exactly how to run a league, and we know how to run it very well in terms of creating that type of environment where people get to know each other. A friendship ends up, a team happens, and things like that. So we just thought, look, why not give it a shot? See what comes out of it. We've got a lot of people interested in FIFA, which is great. And we're just about to end our first ever season. So it's been a great response in terms of the people that are in the league, but it's a whole different environment of play.
Yeah, and look, I can say as someone who's coming number 2 in one of your leagues at the moment that it's definitely been good fun. But in terms of like the traction, so like obviously you guys went from being a traditional social sports company to then having to pivot and then looking into eSport quite suddenly. What have been, I guess, a couple of the most popular games that you've had, I guess, interest in people playing? And what kind of numbers are we talking in terms of people coming on board and joining your competitions?
Yeah, like FIFA's been the biggest one. We've had to date 4 leagues pretty much sold out in the space of less than a month. We've also got Madden and NBA as well. It's just taking some time to pick up on those ones. Yeah. However, there is that interest because we've got a huge gridiron community in terms of us, and there's a lot of them that's always speaking about Madden, all right? And it's the same as basketball and NBA. So it's not long till we get them around the corner and get them into that experience. But at the same time, it's that experience you create with eSports, whereas you create that sports with when you're out there and about. So it's a bit of a difference there.
Awesome. Okay. And obviously, eSports is a pretty easy thing, I'm thinking, once you've got it set up, everyone's got each other added on PlayStation. It's pretty easy to set up longer term. Have you guys given any thought to whether you'll continue this at all going forward, or is it going to be once we're back to normal sport, that's the end of the eSport leagues?
Yeah, no, we want to kick on with this. We want eSports to be something that is a part of Urban Rec going forward. The way I see it is we can run esports along the same line as our leagues, and it's our entry point of people that want to get into that type of sport, but are too scared. UrbanRec's all about being beginner friendly and being social, and we try and emphasize on that to all our leagues. There is a big population of people that actually play sports that play PlayStation, things like that don't actually play that sport. Most of our gridiron community came from Madden. Like that, it's not big. Like NFL isn't big here in Australia. Playing gridiron here isn't big in Australia. So a lot of people that actually came are people that actually started playing on PlayStation. So I'm using that same example with our e-leagues to get them playing with e-leagues, getting to know what UrbanRec's about and that culture that we can create. And then hopefully it takes one meeting with someone that they played with before, or a whole meeting or things like that. And eventually they're in a team and they're playing with our UrbanRec League. So they're a part of that whole UrbanRec journey.
No, awesome. And look, I might have to start getting a small cut of any sales ongoing, because not only have I really enjoyed the online comp, I've played in one of the in-person sports comps with cricket over the last summer as well. So I think going forward, it could be a really cool way. People that potentially don't have the time to get out and about might start with an e-league, understand that it's a really friendly social environment, and then when they do have the time, they can go into one of the sporting leagues, or vice versa. Someone might join up for the sport league, meet a couple of friends, and then end up playing the online one as well. You can obviously commit to both if you've got the time. So I think it's super interesting.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to check out more of our content, go to sporttechdaily.com or follow us on social media across Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram.